Well, let's take the time to talk a little bit about what is going to go on with a couple players from Real Madrid this next summer. Things are getting approaching to the time. You don't want to miss the show because we're about to give you some information about what is the update or the latest and greatest about Real Madrid. Muy buena mi gente, aquí nos encontramos nuevamente en otro programa de fútbol con Bamba.
Dentro del área, golpea Petit, Zidane y gol. Ha marcado Zidane el 1-0 para Francia.
Welcome everybody, and here we go in another show of Real Madrid and Football con Bamban. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Real Madrid and his player. We know the Champions League final is coming to an very close. We know La Liga is almost wrapping up, and there might be some chances that some of the players would never dress this jersey all over again. And because of that, we do want to take a little bit of opportunity and give you guys a little bit of insight about what is being rumored, what is going on, and currently how the team has been expecting what's going to be restructured for them in this upcoming summer. So knowing that, and before we talk about this, I do want to say that my brother Michael had the opportunity from a great contact that we did acquire on 2018 in Russia. We did acquire one of the lead person, if not the chief of the press from the English national team. We did have the opportunity to have some dinner with him and to get to meet him. And after that, we've kept in contact with him. Therefore, my brother did acquire and was talking about if Real Madrid gets to the final, he might be interested in going to the game. However, he forgot that this game was actually going to be on the 1st of June, where we are in a cruise that week, and that's the day that we actually return from a family vacation cruise. So he gets his text saying, I do have a ticket for you. All you need to do is get to Wembley and let's get this going. And my brother yesterday gave me a call and said, what should I do? Should I go? Should I stay? This is Real Madrid number 15, Borussia Dortmund. This is history. I've never been to a final of a Champions League. I've been already to World Cup. This is another one on my bucket list. What should I do? Of course, I came in and I said, this is a tough decision. You have to make it. And he came up and declined going to Real Madrid to stay out here. And I got to tell you right now, that takes courage. So therefore, I want to give him a shout out right now for him, because I know he's seeing this show and he must be laughing right now saying, did I make the right decision? So we'll let you answer in these comments about what exactly, if he made the right decision or not. But let's talk a little bit about what we came here to do. And let's talk about what's going on with Real Madrid, because we do have some rumors and some questions about certain players. So I want to touch base a little bit about that and not make it too long. So let's talk immediately about the goalkeeper, Kepa. We know Kepa was actually loaned from Chelsea this year, because Courtois had a surgery, a major surgery that was going to enable him to have the entire season of Real Madrid back. Therefore, Real Madrid decided to get another backup in case Lunin was coming, not be able to perform. However, we saw that Kepa initially started the starting position of Real Madrid, having Lunin as his backup. Kepa was doing a phenomenal job, and it kind of seemed like he was going to take over that position until a major injury occurred to him. This little light process on him to stay in on this injury gave the opportunity to Kepa to win the trust of Carlo Ancelotti. Not only win the trust, if not go forward and become and grab and become the main goalkeeper for the Real Madrid squad, taking them all the way to the finals of the Champions League. So therefore, at this moment right now, we know Real Madrid, being that he's coming back and getting Courtois back, now having Lunin and having the possibilities to extend Lunin's contract for multiple years, Kepa is looking at the last couple games to be able to be participant of Real Madrid. Now we know Kepa has been part of this phenomenal clean sheet achievement that Real Madrid has acquired this year to win the Liga. And in the Champions League, he's had part of the participations also for the beginning of Real Madrid going on to this amazing final run that they're going through, the La Quince. So therefore, Kepa most likely will return to Chelsea, because it is known that Chelsea was wanting to acquire, or roughly about 20 million pounds or 20 million euros for Kepa Arrizabalaga, and it comes out to be that Real Madrid is not looking to spend that much money, especially not in a goalkeeper, if they're able to get Lunin and Thibaut Courtois back. So therefore, that is going to be the end of that compensation. We had a great experience with Kepa, but Kepa will not be returning to Real Madrid next season. Now let's talk a little bit about Lucas Vázquez. We know Lucas Vázquez has been a little bit more above the average of the normal age that it comes out to be. He's one of the most experienced players inside Real Madrid. But we know right now that Lucas Vázquez is extremely happy with Real Madrid. And even though a couple years ago there were strongly rumors about him not renewing with Real Madrid and taking the adventure to go to Italy, the Italian league and everything, that has been in pause. He's been so happy with Real Madrid. He has been as a backup position, but he continues to show that charisma, that maturity inside, that responsibility for Real Madrid. It seems like they will not have a problem, or in Real Madrid or from him, to be able to renew his contract. However, they are stuck right now with the restrictions that we know Real Madrid does. Above 30 years old player, they only renew year by year, and that might be a little bit of thing why the contract has not been still signed between Lucas Vázquez and Real Madrid, but it's certainly something that's going to be touched after the beginning or after the end of the Champions League, which is in 2 weeks. So therefore, Lucas most likely will remain in Real Madrid next season. However, if anything changes, I will be able to tell you guys beforehand. But from there, let's go talk about Nacho Hernandez. Now we know Nacho is currently the captain. He raised up with the League Cup, and he's hoping to raise up the cup on the 2nd of June for the Champions League, the 15th cup of Champions League for Real Madrid. However, we did have Nacho has been the most faithful. He's been the one-man squad for Real Madrid. He started from very small in La Cantera of Real Madrid. He's acquired, and he's one of those players that can actually show to all these young players that you could be successful. You could be successful coming from the youth program of Real Madrid all the way to the professional level and being in the first division and still remain and achieve a lot of things in Real Madrid. Now, we know Nacho was tempted last season to get multiple years in the Premier League and in Italian league, but he was hesitant. And even though at one point he was thinking about it to leave Real Madrid, it came out to be that he knew at the final minutes that there was a possibility for Karim Benzema leaving the squad. And once he saw that Karim Benzema left the squad, he knew automatically that he will become the first captain of the team. That was an incentive for him to be able to try and stay an additional year. However, he achieved that. He's done well. There is rumors that he hasn't been too happy about the minutes that he's been acquired, even though this season with David Alaba going down, Eder Militao going down, he's had significant amount of starting lineup positions in here and a lot of minutes in the Real Madrid squad, something that has made him a little bit happy. However, he has not been happy with some of the decisions, like, for example, on that away game for Manchester City in Champions League, Carlos Ancelotti rather had Tchouaméni as a center back instead of Nacho. So therefore, we know this has not been the best year for Nacho, even though he's been very consistent. Now at the end of the season, he's shown significant improvements. We've seen right now the Nacho that we've been seeing for years every time he comes in as a revulsive or as a replacement player and come inside to do his job. He has shown that in this last stretch. However, there's been some games that he's made some type of mistakes that has cost some goals that probably brought doubt at one point to Carlos Ancelotti trying out Tchouaméni instead of Nacho, and this has not made too well of a confidence for the player. Now, we know that apparently there's been rumors that the player has told Carlos Ancelotti and Real Madrid about him not returning next season. However, we did see to this stage last year the indecisiveness of Nacho at this point. And then he changed when the summer came up. However, I think this time he's for real. He fulfilled his dream to become first captain. He's fulfilled his dream already to lift up a trophy. And if he gets the chance to lift up the trophy of the Champions League, he will be like going off on the highest note that he can go out in Real Madrid. So I think we're seeing the last couple games of Nacho in Real Madrid, and Nacho most likely will be heading out to the MLS or to Arabia, even though I think his style will be the MLS instead of Arabia. He has not interested in playing the European leagues because he says he's trying to avoid playing against Real Madrid, and his love and passion for Real Madrid just takes him away from that opportunity. So therefore, we know that his style of life most likely will be better felt in the MLS than in Saudi, but we'll see exactly his results at the end after the Champions League goes on. So from there, let's move into Luka Modric. We've talked about Luka Modric now entering to the age of 39, and we know that this is the Benjamin Button of Real Madrid, but his salary is one of the biggest factors that has been a problem for Real Madrid. He has a high salary, and even though we don't think that might be a concern, he is concerned that he has not received any call from Real Madrid to be able to discuss anything formally about a possible extension. Therefore, we know already from his part he would like to stay, and he's willing to cut down his salary and make adjustments to be able to stay an additional year with Real Madrid. That has never been a problem for a commitment. I know he has complained at the beginning about the lack of participation. However, he has realized that with this youth in Real Madrid and what the future is bringing to Real Madrid, he thinks that he can still provide a lot more knowledge and help, especially with these new youth players that are joining into Real Madrid. He thinks he can still be a master and still be a mentor for a lot of them. So his intent is to remain in Real Madrid. However, it will be a final conversation that is set already for after the Champions League. There is expected that Florentino Perez personally will be talking with Luka Modric, and they will be coming to an agreement if this is goodbye or this will be another year extension. Now, from there, let's talk a little bit about Toni Kroos, because we know Toni Kroos actually is coming up to the end of his contract. We know that Toni Kroos has the door opens in Real Madrid. If he wants to extend his contract, it's already almost a pre-given for him. He has mentioned that if he feels that he's not able to continue at the highest level, he will hang up his cleats. We've seen right now with Toni Kroos having one of the best years of his career. Inclusively, he just joined back to the national team in Germany because he knew that he was playing at a highest level. Now, a lot of players has come up, and even the club right now, there is rumors that they still don't feel confidence that he will want to stay an extension of an additional year in Real Madrid, even though the club is thinking, even though they have not reached out to him to be able to be concerned, they're thinking that the meeting after the Champions League might make up his mind. So there is expectation that if he lifts up the cups, already the league, the Cup of Champions, and maybe the Cup at the Euro, he might want to go out in the highest notes and retire from a football player. But we also know that there's that little bug in players that just holds them back when the reality starts hitting in that I'm leaving the sport and this lovely game that I love. We do know that Toni Kroos has made a commitment that as soon as he's done with Real Madrid, he is retiring and not going to another. We've seen some rumors coming out there about possibly moving to other teams in Europe and everything. I do not think that's going to happen. Real Madrid does not think that's going to happen. And the expectations of Real Madrid are very high, even though they have not communicated anything, because they have put a halt on any future conversations into after the final of the Champions League. So from there, let's talk a little bit about Dani Ceballos. And Dani Ceballos is one of the guys that Ancelotti will pretty much has not given that much opportunity, even though he's been starting lineup on these last couple league games, and he's been looking pretty much in the so-and-so in that part. There is strong rumors that Dani Ceballos has big contract approach from the Premier League and the Italian league. So we are thinking that Dani Ceballos is his last season with Real Madrid. I think he's another player that is going to be leaving. So we think it's Nacho, and we think it's Dani Ceballos saying goodbye to Real Madrid this next summer, and Kepa. So what is talked about Joselu Matos? Now, Joselu Matos, we know he was a loan from the team Espanyol, who relegated to the second division league. And because he relegated, they had a clause that he said that he would actually go ahead and be loaned to a first division team in order for him to be able to maintain himself in the maximum. That I know there's a lot of criticism from a lot of former players from the Espanyol saying that he just jumped out of the boat as soon as the boat was sinking. However, his dream was always to become a Real Madrid player. We've seen him in the youth leagues of Real Madrid. He was raised in the youth league program. And it came out to be that when he left Real Madrid youth program, he went and become and explored multiple teams in the Premier and the First Division League, in La Liga, and now having the opportunity to coming back to Real Madrid with his dream come true. Not only that, there was a big photo that actually comes in. Everybody knows he's the brother-in-law of Dani Carvajal. And 2 years ago, he was wearing and taking a picture and putting on his Instagram or his social media of him and his father going to the final of the Champions League when Real Madrid was about to play, and he against Liverpool, and he was in a picture with his father and the shirt and jersey of Dani Carvajal. Now, that photo of 2 years ago from the final match, now knowing that he was the key factor to be able to score 2 goals that gave the opportunity of Real Madrid to reach the possibility to play another final in the Champions League and probably win the 15th Champions League trophy. It's a dream come true for any player, especially for him. So we know that Real Madrid is super happy with Joselu Mato coming inside, doing the position, dropping all the goals that he has done, taking the opportunity to take the position of a natural number 9, especially after Benzema left. Everybody criticized Real Madrid by bringing Joselu Mato and not bringing one of these mega names like Osimhen or Raul Gonzalo or some of these guys that they were on the list, like Lautaro Martinez and everything, and Real Madrid not going out there getting a Harry Kane and spending over 100 million. You know, all these big names we're mentioning to Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid comes inside and says, we're getting Joselu Mato. Everybody was bashing on Real Madrid. Nobody saw it as a good transition for Florentino Perez, and Joselu Matos has been shutting mouth every single time as it's going. So I'm very happy about Joselu Matos. Ancelotti is very happy as Joselu Matos. And Real Madrid is very happy to have Joselu Matos. Now, does this mean that Joselu Mato will be acquired for next season, knowing that there might be some strikers coming over and some to the team? Well, remember something. It only will cost Real Madrid 1.5 million euros to be able to acquire the contract of Joselu Matos. So that is something that is not concerning Real Madrid. They know this is a business decision, very simple to be able to do. So they have mentioned to Joselu Mato that there will be a formal meeting after the Champions League ended, and they will determine exactly what they will do with him for next season. The expectations from the people and with the rumors that I've been hearing, Joselu Matos will be a player of Real Madrid next season. So we will see if that will become true or not. However, let's go about Arda Güler. Arda Güler is one of these young prospects that it was mentioned all over the place. Especially he's the phenom from Turkey. They call him the young Messi. Mesut Özil at the beginning of the summer started recommending him, saying, this kid, it's amazing. He has magic and he will be way better than me by the time he develops and gets to my age and retires from football. And it comes out to be that there was very high expectation for this youth player coming with 18 years old from Fenerbahce in Turkey. And he coming into Real Madrid. Now, when he came to Real Madrid, he brought big expectation. And in the preseason in the US, he got injured. Therefore, in not making him eligible to be able to showcase and show his friend. So majority of the first half of the season, he was in the injury list, doing exercise, recovering, coming back. And by December came up, it was almost projected that he was going to come back. However, the medical staff with Real Madrid gave him an advice and said, hey, don't rush yourself. You're very young. You're going to recover 100%, and then we'll show you off, because don't be in a rush. You will make magic in Real Madrid, guaranteed. So when the second half of the season began, it came out to be that it started frustrating Arda Güler, not knowing that he will be able to play because he was not getting minutes. He was not getting opportunities, and Ancelotti didn't show that emotion from him to be able to give him some opportunity. So that made him make some comments between his agent and Real Madrid that the possibility of lending him next season to another team so he can get minutes and continue his evolution and not stay stranded, even though he's very appreciative and very much desiring to stay in Real Madrid. So because of that rumors, that was not something that Real Madrid was like considering that would be a smart decision. Now, it is something they were evaluating and considering. So what came up right now Arda Güler started getting a lot of minutes. Not only that, the 4 games that he's been coming into the game, all 4 games he's been able to score with Real Madrid. And that is something that has changed the mentality a little bit in the feeling about the rumors that I've heard. It says that the player is very impressed and very happy to stay in Real Madrid, and he thinks he can show more to Real Madrid with the proper opportunity. So therefore, there is a positive vibe on his hand. We know that Ancelotti, these last couple games, says he's a gem. He's growing up and he's magical to see. So therefore, it looks like he's gathering the confidence of the coach. He's gathering the confidence of the people. We know already how the team has acquired him, and every time he scores, every time he talks, every time he plays, they all go to him. They show him a lot of love. We know there's a good family environment with him, with the team, so he's happy with Real Madrid. And up to now, the rumors are that he might not decide to go out. However, we'll see how this follows up after this, winning these titles, if possible, in the final of the Champions League, and the participation that he does in the last couple matches that Real Madrid has in La Liga. So that's going to be a major factor for him in his decision. Now let's go about the strong rumors about players that are outside Real Madrid. Let's talk about Kylian Mbappe. Why Kylian Mbappe has not said anything after he was eliminated, when a lot of people was rumoring and saying, oh, as soon as he's done, he's going to confess. Well, he confessed that he is leaving Paris Saint-Germain. He has not confessed exactly what squad it is. And this is because there is already a pre-agreement from Real Madrid and Kylian Mbappe way before this started, as the same thing that Kylian Mbappe asked Real Madrid to be able to respect the decision and allow him to tell the terms about him talking about when he's leaving or not leaving and where he was signing for next summer. It came out to be that Real Madrid said, if we're still alive in the Champions League and for the following for the trophy, please respect our terms and do not confess anything until after that. Therefore, we can make a big announcement and we can make a big welcoming for you. So therefore, Kylian Mbappe is also honoring the petitions of Real Madrid, as Real Madrid honored his petition when the time was actually being pressured to be determined if he was going to stay or leave. So therefore, there is big confidence about Kylian Mbappe joining Real Madrid next summer. I think it's just a matter of time. The 2nd of June, maybe after the celebration or right after that, might be the big announcement. We will see, because Kylian Mbappe did say that before the Euro, he wanted to let go about the information. So we know Euro was coming in June, then the Olympics. So he wanted to make the big announcement. And we have felt a little bit of tease from different aspects, especially coming in about his options about joining the Summer Olympics in Paris, where he said that it's out of his hands. He knows right now that Madrid has the power, or any team that he would join has the power to not allow him to go to play the Olympics, because this is not a FIFA calendar schedule game. Even though Titi Henry has tried to blow up and ask, and Macron once again trying to join up and put a little bit of his motion and ask for petition for Kylian Mbappe participation, we know right now that that's not the case. So having that said, let's talk a little bit about Endrick. We know Endrick right now yesterday got injured on his last match with Palmeiras. It didn't seem like he was happy. He was touching his knee. That was not. The alarm started singing. And after that, the medical staff came up and brought down that it's just a little bit of soreness, nothing to be concerned about. Therefore, Endrick is already saying goodbye to Brazil's league and be ready to get joined up this summer with Real Madrid. Now, another rumor that is always talked about also, again, it's Alphonso Davies and Lenny Joro. To both of these players are very attractive players for Real Madrid. Now with the going away, once the confirmation comes from Nacho that he will be leaving Real Madrid, if that occurs, Lenny Joro was already projected to be presented in Real Madrid as the next new generation for center back. We know he's a young prospect that he will be great acquisition for Real Madrid, knowing that Eder Militao is already going on his peak right now, and Rudiger entering already to that 30 years old, and David Alaba almost coming inside and jumping out of this prime right now for Real Madrid, Lenny Yoro will be that prospect and that fresh air for the future on Real Madrid. So this player right now, there is no conversation between Leon and Real Madrid at this moment. However, it is said that that will start ringing a lot more after the final of Champions League. The same thing is actually going on with Alphonso Davies. There's total silence between Bayern Munich and Alphonso Davies, manager and agent, and Real Madrid, because Real Madrid is especially focused on finishing these business with the Champions League, strictly focused on the Champions League final, and then after that will become more public and the rumors will start ramping up. Now we know that Alphonso Davies, if it's going to be a deal, it probably will be late August. Lenny Yoro might be a little bit simpler in that point, and Kylian Mbappe most likely will be at the beginning of the summer as Endrick. Now there is a conversation about a possibility. Franco Mostantuono, this is a young phenom that everybody is comparing to Di Maria. Everybody's saying that this kid is amazing, and I've seen him play through River Plate. I can tell you right now, some of the highlights and everything does not give just to this kid. This kid got magic. He's very skillful with the ball. He's very fast, and it comes out to be that he has potential to be great. Therefore, Real Madrid apparently is already dealing with him to be able to see if they can join him with the youth division league with them in the program. He's only 16 years old. There is a rule in Spain that he cannot join Real Madrid league as Endrick happened until he becomes 18 years old, which will be the summer of 2025. Now, there is a possibility, because there is rumors that he does have the citizenship of Spain. It could help for him to start getting a little bit more accelerated to join the program of Youth League. But this is strictly rumors. I have not confirmed if this is true or not about his dual citizenship, but that is something that I just heard not too long ago, and I decided to bring it up in here until I can confirm it. But I give you the disclaimer that this might not be true. So I will follow up on this case. However, I do know that it will cost approximately 45 million euros for Real Madrid to be able to acquire this kid. And it's been followed not only from Real Madrid, but the major teams in Europe to come inside. So therefore, that is most of the rumors. This probably extended a little bit more than I was expecting about, but there is a lot of information that I acquire daily, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of chance to have the opportunity to know exactly what's going on with the Real Madrid players. So I hope you enjoy this. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel. And if not, hit that like button. It's free. There's nothing going in it. This channel is growing day by day. I wish you will stay and remain with us. If you stayed into the end of the channel, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will continue my commitment to be able to create more and more content with you guys as God permit me to be able to do this. So thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys next time in what? Fútbol con Bam Bam. Ciao!